Hello students, myself Milan Patel, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today's topic is about water resistance. So let's begin. First of all, we will see the introduction of water resistance. To understand water resistance or waterproofing of a structure, we have to first understand about water leakage in the building. Okay, you can clearly see the water leakage in the building. The term water leakage in the building is used to mean the coming out of water from components like walls and floors of the buildings. It is observed in the building industry that 99% of water leakage problems are concentrated on the terrace roofs and in the toilets, right? The water leakage in the building is the most common problems, particularly in all types of buildings such as residential flats, hospitals, offices, school buildings, bungalows, etc. Okay. So, what are the reasons and what are the preventive measures for water leakage? Let's see. It is necessary to prevent water leakage in the building so as to provide healthy and happy environment, right? It will also avoid damages to household articles, costly paintings, and short circuiting of the electrical wiring. The defects which cause water leakage in the buildings can be grouped in the three categories like first, defects due to poor maintenance, second, defects in construction, and third, defects in design. Okay, so these type of defects are due to water leakage can be classified in these three categories. Let's see these three categories one by one. First is defects due to poor maintenance. The neglected maintenance along with weathering and aging leads to water leakage in the existing buildings. The flowing water is dynamic and rushes through valves, traps, washers, taps, cogs situated several places in the building. These things are subjected to constant wear and tear. They therefore require periodical maintenance. There are various measures to be taken to minimize water leakage due to poor maintenance, like filling of joints, improper use of toilet, then joints in floor of toilets, and replacement of taps. Okay, if you do this type of maintenance, you can easily do the good in resisting the water leakage. Okay, so let's see these all types of measures one by one, starting with filling of joints. The joints in the drainage system should be filled with rich cement mortar. Due to aging, the strength of cement mortar deteriorates, resulting in leakages through the cracked joints. The remedy lies in filling such joints initially with epoxy mortar or at least at a later stage while repairing the same. Okay, so the first remedy or first way to reduce the water leakage is filling of joints. The second is improper use of a toilet. It is necessary to educate the public for properly using the toilet system. For instance, in drainage system of public hospitals, it is observed that the patients and their relative misuse the toilet system by throwing bandages, cotton waste, injection bottles, etc. It is ultimately leads to choking of this drainage system, and that leads to water leakage. Okay, if you do the actions against this improper use of toilets, you can easily reduce the chances of water leakage in a particular type of building. Okay. The third is joints in floor of toilets. The joints in tiles of bath and water closet are filled with white cement. These joints get loose after continuous use and require periodical maintenance and sealing with white cement. Okay, so this type of maintenance should be done periodically to reduce the chances of water leakage. Okay, fourth, replacement of taps. The leaking water taps leads to colossal waste of filtered water and avoidable water leakages in the building. It is therefore necessary to provide good quality bib covers initially and go on replacing washers periodically, whether required or not, as a preventive maintenance measure. Okay, if you do this type of preventive maintenance measure, you can easily reduce the chances of water leakage in a building. Okay, so these are the four ways, or you can say four measures to reduce the chances of water leakage due to poor maintenance. Okay, that's all about defects due to poor maintenance. Now let's say the second is defects in construction. The defects at construction stage include honeycombing in concrete, use of defective materials, bad workmanship, etc. The remedial measures to avoid water leakage due to such defects are following here. Okay, the first is defective concrete. Second, door frame joint near toilet. Third, plumbing. Four, pushcocks. Five, rainwater spouts. Six, seal to terrace door. And seventh, waterproofing of terrace. These are the areas where you can do the remedial measures to reduce the chances of water leakage in future during the construction. Okay. First is defective concrete. The provision of well-designed compacted dense concrete with proper curing can solve number of leakage problems in a building. If you provide well-compacted dense concrete during construction, the chances of water leakage problems in future can be eliminated. Okay. Second is door frame joint near toilet. The joint between door frame and flooring of bath and water closet should be made leak-proof by applying epoxy mortar or cement slurry. Okay, so door frame joint near the toilet should be done by epoxy mortar or cement slurry to avoid the water leakage. Third is plumbing. The joints in the plumbing of water closet seats and nanny trap should be filled with rich cement mortar and cured for 7 days. If curing is not properly done, the rich cement mortar gets cracked and leads to leakage. Okay? If possible, one piece P trap should be used to reduce one joint in drainage system, and it should be fixed before waterproofing of water closet block is started. Okay, so proper curing should be provided during the plumbing. Okay, fourth, push cocks. The concussive or violently shaking type push cocks fitted for flushing of water closet pans lead to vibration and consequently the joints in drainage system gets dislodged and lose water tightness. It is therefore desirable to provide wheel valves or other suitable valves which do not cause vibrations. Okay, so proper type of push cocks having less vibration should be provided during the construction. Next is rainwater spouts. The improper fixing of rainwater spouts in the roof slabs leads to leakage in the roofs. For instance, if rainwater spout is fixed at higher level, the water stagnates and the leakage starts. Okay. Sixth, seal to terrace door. If the terrace door is not provided with seal, the water will find entry in the staircase through the door. Okay, so proper seal is provided as terrace door. Okay. Seventh, waterproofing of terrace. To prevent water leakage from the roof, the terrace should be given proper waterproofing treatment. The joint between terrace slab and parapet wall should be properly finished to avoid the leakages. Okay, so these are the various types of measures you can take while construction of the building. Okay. Third, defects in design. The defects in planning and design can be avoided in the pre-construction stage by entrusting the work to experienced and well-trained architect and engineer. If you provide your construction or your planning work to well-experienced and well-trained architect, you can easily avoid or you can easily eliminate the chances of water leakage in future. Okay, because the design of the building is such a way that it does not store the much water in a particular area. Okay, some of the measures to avoid water leakage due to faulty planning are as follows. Like first, design of floor slab, design of rainwater spouts, fixing of nanny traps, location of sanitary block, relief valves, slope of terrace slab, and water tanks. In this type of area, if you do proper design or planning, you can easily avoid the chances of water leakage in future. First is design of floor slab. It should be seen that the design of floor slab and centering should be such that the local stagnation of water does not occur. Okay. Second, design of rainwater spouts. The rainwater spouts of less than 100 diameter should not be used. It is also desirable to provide one spout for every 40 meter square area of terrace. Okay, so the diameter of water spout should be comparatively more, or provide number of this type of water spouts in the terrace to avoid the water logging on a particular terrace. Okay. Third, fixing of nanny traps. The nanny traps are required for toilets, kitchen sinks, wash basins, etc. The niche or pocket of clear size about 300 mm by 300 mm by 150 mm should be provided to accommodate the nanny traps, and their location should be clearly shown in the plan. Okay, so this type of nanny trap is compulsory for toilets, kitchen sinks, wash basins, etc. And the sizes should be comfortable to avoid the water logging. Okay. Next, location of sanitary block. It is desirable to detach the sanitary block in planning stage only. Such a criteria will help in keeping the building usable even if the sanitary block suffers from the leakage. It also avoid the spreading of dampness in the rest of the building. The entire sanitary block should be sunk to a sufficient depth to accommodate the items of sanitation. The engineer should supply a detailed plumbing drawing of sanitary block showing the slope carrying urinal effluent, wash basin effluent, a general of pipe, slope of gutters, slope of the toilet flooring, etc. Okay, if you provide proper slope to this type of arrangements, okay, you can easily reduce the chances of water logging in bathrooms, etc., which leads to water leakage in future. Okay. Next is relief valves. It is necessary to provide break pressure relief valves at suitable vertical distance in multi-story buildings to prevent seepage of water through the plumbing system. Okay, so relief valves should be provided in multi-story buildings. Next is slope of terrace slab. The minimum slope of 1 in 100 to 1 in 60 should be clearly shown on the terrace plan. It will help in adjusting the slope in centering with uniform thickness of roof slab. Okay, the suitable provision of terrace slope would result in smooth disposal of rainwater. Okay, so this type of slope should be clearly shown on the plan of the terrace. Okay, and based on that, the construction should be done. And the last is water tank. For overhead RCC water storage tanks, it should be seen that the permissible limits of stresses relating to resistance of cracking are not exceeded. Okay, the detailed bar bending schedule should be supplied by the structure designer. The bottom slab of overhead water tank should be placed 1 meter above the roof slab. Okay, to avoid the chances of water leakage. It will facilitate proper centering during construction and also for locating the repairing the leakage after the construction. Okay, so if possible, the water tank, overhead water tank should be above the roof level. Okay, so these are the various measures you can use while planning phase or while designing phase of the building. Okay, so these are the various reasons and preventive measures for water leakage. Now let's see how you can do waterproofing for flat roofs. All the flat roofs in the modern age are generally constructed of reinforced cement concrete, right? This material removes all the defects of flat roof except that the roof should be made waterproof by employing any of the following four methods. First, finishing. Second, bedding concrete and flooring. Third, mastic, asphalt and jute cloth. And fourth, use of waterproofing compounds. So by using these four methods, you can easily reduce the waterproofing in flat roofs. First is finishing. For ordinary buildings of cheap construction, the finishing of roof surface is done at the time of laying cement concrete. The finishing of flat roof is carried out in cement mortar of proportion 1 and 4. Here one part is cement and fourth part is descent by volume. Okay. So finishing should be proper with the proper proportion of cement mortar. Second is bedding concrete and flooring. In this method, the surface of RCC slab is kept rough and on this surface a layer of concrete is laid. The concrete may be brick pad slime concrete having proportion 1, 2 and 4 or brick pad cement concrete having proportion 1, 6, 12 or 1, 5, 10. Okay. Here the one part is the cement. Okay. 2, 6, and 5 is the sand part, and 4, 12, and 10 is the coarse aggregate, which is brick pads. Okay, the thickness of the concrete layer is about 100 mm. The surface of the bedding concrete is provided by a suitable flooring such as tiles, terrazzo, Indian pattern stone, etc. Okay. The convex corner joint is provided at the junction. You can clearly see the corner joint, which is convex type. Okay. Uh, at the junction of parapet wall and roof. Okay, which reduces the chances of water leakage in the particular flooring. Okay. So this is how you can do waterproofing with the help of bedding concrete and the flooring. Now let's see the third method, which is mastic asphalt and jute cloth. In this method, a layer of hot mastic asphalt is laid on the roof surface. Okay, you can clearly see how the mastic asphalt is spread over the roof. The jute cloth is spread over this mastic asphalt layer. Okay, this is how the jute cloth is looks like. Then one more layer of mastic asphalt is applied so that the jute cloth is sandwiched between the two layers of mastic asphalt. So first of all, mastic asphalt layer is done, then jute cloth is spread over this mastic asphalt layer, and above this, the again mastic asphalt layer is done. Okay, this is how the sandwich should be done of mastic asphalt and jute cloth. Tie sand is then sprinkled over the entire surface of the roof. For better grip, the lead sheets are inserted at the junction of parapet wall and the roof, as shown in this figure. You can clearly see at the joint or the connection between parapet wall and the slab. Okay, for better grip, the lead sheet is provided. Okay, so this is how you can do waterproofing of flat roof with the help of mastic asphalt and chip cloth. And the last method of waterproofing is use of waterproofing compounds. Some of the waterproofing compounds like Pudlo, Impermo, Dr. Fixit, etc. are available in the market. And when such a compound is added to cement during construction, it prevents seepage, leakage, and damp caused by capillary absorption of moisture in cement, mortar, and concrete. The quantity of waterproofing compound to be added is also very small, say about 2%, and thus a bag of cement will require only about 10 Newton of such compound. Okay, so this is very less quantity needed for the overall construction. Okay, 2% of the cement volume you can mix with this cement to make the concrete waterproof. Okay, the waterproof compounds are available in powder form, as you can see in this figure, and they are also mixed thoroughly with cement by hand before the cement is mixed with the aggregate. Okay, the advantage claimed by using a waterproofing compound of good quality are as follows here. It corrects a badly proportioned concrete mixture. It cures immature green concrete. It makes good concrete from the poor materials also. It permits less rigid supervision of the workmanship. Okay, so these are the various advantages of using these waterproofing compounds in the concrete. That's all about the various methods of waterproofing of flat roofs. That's all about today's lecture. Thank you for watching.